Hey, Assalamualaikum Zishan, how are you?
Walaikum salam, Dawood. Doing well, bro. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, just taking it one day at a time. It's been, gosh, I haven't talked to you in so long, man. How are you? Like, what's going on? What's new?
Man, these days, playoffs, NBA playoffs, so it's just work. After work is basketball, but hey, we can forget about me. Let's introduce our next
Next
guest. How
guest?
about that?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So we had to get a time machine, but I think this fossil will be worth it.
We had to move mountains literally to,
Yes,
get this call going. So without further ado,
yes.
can you please reveal yourself, sir?
The wise.
Hey,
Hey, Assalamualaikum.
walaikum salam.
Oh
Ajmal.
my, you
Long
know
time,
what?
bro.
What do you know?
That intro was not my first choice, but I let Zishan carry it.
Sorry, Ajmal. My apologies.
All good.
I was just gonna say grandpa. I wasn't gonna, go up to the fossil level, but
It's been so long, man. I haven't seen this guy since I left. Uh,
yeah. Don't worry, you're
yeah,
the only one. When you
Canada.
left, we saw him. How
Yeah,
you been,
man.
man?
Alhamdulillah.
Very
It's
nice
good
to
to
see
see
you
you.
guys as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
been
alhamdulillah.
a long time, been very busy.
How you been, man?
What's
Work.
keeping you busy?
Working and busy,
You
yeah.
know, I think work is number one. I think for everybody, but I think the the dynamic of work is has kind of changed now. I mean, this concept of working from home is one where it's great, it has all its perks, but on my side, I find that I put a lot more time doing work because you're kind of available from in my case, let's say from Fajr time, you're pretty much kind of logged on. Just it's not sometimes it's, you're just searching, you're just catching up on the Leaf game, or in this case the Montreal Canadiens game, and you have emails just flowing in, right? Especially if you're dealing across the country with folks across the country, so the time zones being different, people are always
Mhm.
sort of online, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's the biggest element of, yeah, some days are long, 12 hours, 15 hours, but we
Wow.
try to keep it fun. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. And how do you fit that with like work with home life, man?
Yeah. Two
There
kids.
is no life.
What is home life? What is sleep?
No,
Apparently,
I
he
mean,
does not sleep after Fajr.
yeah, no, I'll try usually in the afternoons by like 6, by 5, usually by 5:30 I kind of log off, and then I try
Go
to
sleep.
dedicate some time to not even sleep, like to these two little guys. They're, Adam is 6 years old and Yusuf just
MashaAllah.
turned
Oh,
3.
my.
So
Wow.
What
they
the heck?
age where they're not like babies per se. They
Mm.
want to explore and do things and like be active. They're full of energy, so you have to find a way to release that energy. So either I usually put them in the backyard and play some soccer, or go in the pool or something like that.
Mm.
And that's basically
Well,
how we sort
you
of.
play with them too? Is that hard at your age though?
Yeah, I know, I
Sorry.
know. Sometimes my
Dude,
back,
my
arthritis.
age, I wake up. I'm done.
Don't worry, like that would my wheelchair comes out too, for the
Yeah.
walks. Like, I'm just back. I should upgrade to one of
Oh my God.
the power units.
Yeah, right? Oh my goodness. No, but that's good, man. Honestly, I'm sure, like as Zishan was mentioning, right? It's like it must be tough. Like we have like Zishan has almost what, a 1.5 year old now, almost. Well, soon, one and a
Yeah.
half year old. I have a 6 month old almost, and like we're just like, oh my goodness, man. I'm like, how am I gonna do this? And we only have one, the first boy. This man has two boys, so mashallah, hats off to you, man.
MashaAllah. Yeah, man. And he's a big family guy too. So it's not just
Yeah,
Oh,
it's it's your immediate family, your wife and your kids, and then you have your sisters and your parents and
yeah.
mother-in-law and yeah, cousins. It's
yeah.
big, very big family.
Wow. Are your in-laws here?
No, my in-laws, no, they're in Mauritius.
Okay, I see. But your parents live close to you, right?
Yeah, they're not too far. They're about basically the next major intersection, kind of down the road, kind of thing. So
Hmm.
they're not too far. They're around, and you know
Okay. How's your
everybody's.
dad doing?
Alhamdulillah, he's doing okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Um, he's trying to enjoy the hot weather, basically summer, gardening, planting, and he's telling me the other day he just wants to go fishing and whatnot. So I have to kind of, being the only boy in the family, or at least the only boy out of the four of us kids, I'm usually the
Right.
one that's tasked with sorting, organizing a trip, right? So
Okay.
I gotta try to find something to,
Yeah,
to meet his requirement there, right?
Did you go
yeah.
recently fishing?
No, I haven't gone. I'm thinking sort of maybe middle of July if I can get a cottage
Okay.
somewhere. I'll find a
Nice.
place and then we'll just kind of head out for the
Sorry,
weekend
I don't know, but
and
do you
go out.
normally go? You've gone fishing, I guess, in the past? You've done
Yeah,
this regularly?
yeah. It's you know what
Oh,
it's.
wow.
I don't do it as sport. I do it actually like you catch and then you kind of eat
Oh, okay,
what you
okay.
get. But it's very like it's a type of activity that it's very relaxing. And if you're on the boat in the middle of the lake, there's
Yeah.
nothing around
Oh,
you, right?
nice.
It's just
Yeah,
you in the wild, right? And then all of a sudden you just
yeah,
hear whack, and that's when it goes crazy.
yeah. So do you
Nice.
like rent a boat? Where do you normally go for these kind of trips?
We usually go up north and like
Hashtag
we'll
up
go
north.
to like up north, yeah. We'll usually go up to like north of Belleville, there's a small
Oh,
town called Tweed.
nice.
So in that area, but it's typically where you kind of
Sorry,
just
what's
search
it
around.
called?
Like
You cut off there. Sorry for me. What was it
it's
called again?
called it's a small city called Tweed.
Tweed. Okay.
Tweed,
Tweed,
like
Ontario. Okay. Yeah.
weed, but Tweed. Yeah.
Right. I was getting to that, but thank
Hey.
you. It's like you. I was like, yeah, I go there for fishing. Nothing else. No, no, officer. My dealer does not live there. It's like twas Tweed. That's a good one. That's a good one. Nice. So you like, is that like your primary like the area that you go for?
Yeah, we've gone there a couple of years. I would say the last 5 or 6 years we've gone
All
there.
right, nice. Yeah,
So we usually rent the same place from the same person.
yeah,
And yeah, just it's not a very fancy place. It's it just it's very remote and it's good for that purpose of going there to fish, right? So a
yeah,
lot of people won't really enjoy those kind of really kind of it's not I don't want to say run down, but it's kind of really far out there, and it's not executive level, right? You don't get all
yeah.
your air conditioning and all
Oh,
the
okay.
fancy and whatnot. So I mean, it's nice for that, but I mean, if you appreciate like the basics, right? Like every now and then, then you'll really enjoy these kind of trips.
So would you say you like that? I don't, and correct me if I'm not putting it right. It sounds like it's more of a detached feeling from your busy life and just kind of, or your, luxuries. So yes, you might put it right, and going down to the basics.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're there, like I said, and you're just basically you're like you get the chance to teach your kids some of the, I guess skills that you might say kids will never need those skills, but it's interesting or it's fascinating to see them learn like some of the things like let's say for example like how to build a fire, right? Most people either wouldn't care to know because it's like, oh, we're in 2021, like why would you need to
Yeah,
know that? But sometimes you think, what, if everything kind of collapsed as we saw, let's say with COVID, right? Everything started to fall apart, people were panicking, toilet paper was like, oh my God, right? So now you start to think like, well, okay, you know what, I don't have to worry because these kids know how to get food, they know how to put a fire together, they can, they're resilient, they know how to
yeah.
adapt and change, right?
Survival skill, man. These are survival skills.
Yeah, I
That's good.
mean, it's different for everybody. Some people might say, "Yeah, that's crazy. I would never do that to my kids." But I was brought up that way just to kind of be outdoors, figure it out, learn and just get your hands dirty, right? Every once in a while.
Yeah,
So
we're different generation for us though. We're not
yeah,
familiar with
very
all
different. Yeah, different century. Came at the wrong time.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I did not expect that with each other. That was good. I was just more like,
Oh
different
man,
for
no,
us.
but
We're too busy. We're so like, no, this guy just lays it right out.
oh man, no man, that's good. I mean, ever since I've known Ajmal, he did every year they go to the cottage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And your whole
nice.
family goes into fishing, man. It's unfortunate. You and I never got to go fishing. I only picked it up recently. I love fishing. I mean,
Oh
if
yeah?
I have one, uh, I don't get to go often, but I love it. Like, it's just,
I've
if you're
never
not
been.
catching, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, even if you're not catching, you're just relaxing and You just
Just
chat with whoever you're with, and when you start catching, it's just a whole other level of adrenaline.
so will either of you
Um,
take me with you or something? Because I've never been, actually. I've always
yeah,
heard
oh man, I
stories
would
about
be
it.
down. Yeah,
Yeah,
So
let
whenever,
me.
does that
man.
mean you're coming? I'm gonna keep saying this in every video. Does that mean you're coming?
Oh
No, he's
man,
right here. What are we talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
never left.
He's in the other room right here. We're all in the same house. Yeah.
yeah,
No, but honestly, I'd like to try someday, like whoever would take me up on that offer. But yeah, I've never been, so
yes,
I've heard a lot of people said it's very therapeutic, is what I've heard.
It
yeah,
is.
The
yeah.
water and
It's
just being like you said, right? Being in the middle of the water somewhere and just chilling and it doesn't matter if you catch anything, right? As Ishan said, it's about the experience, right?
Correct. Yeah.
for sure, man. And I mean, recently, I mean, we've had this throughout the past years, like scares with your dad and whatnot, right? Like, how is he health wise? How's that been?
Yeah, yeah, alhamdulillah. So, like I said, yeah, that would maybe you're not too familiar, but a couple of years ago, I think now it's been over 10 years, 10, 11 years. This was when we were in university, third year university.
Third
My
year,
dad
yeah.
was, he was just out of the blue. He just became very, very sick,
Yeah,
like,
I remember that. I
snap.
remember that. Yeah.
And I remember at that time, I think we were doing, we had finance. I think it was correct me if I'm wrong. It's one of those half year courses, and I think we were doing the finals in December.
338, and 339. Yeah.
I think yes, that was one of those. And this all kind of went down, and at that time everybody's gonna, everybody's studying, running around, grabbing the bus, and you don't really know what's going on. You're just focusing on your studies, and you don't know how bad the situation is, right? But anyways, like I said, he was very very ill to the point where we were going to lose him, right? And alhamdulillah, through all of our du'as and everybody made lots and lots of du'as. Like it was a very tough recovery path as well. But alhamdulillah, he's still here with us today.
Alhamdulillah.
And it just it's one of those things that it's just a blessing, and it's an experience for me that you know how you always say you don't realize what you have, and you don't see it, but it's one of those things that for me, when I went through this, it really took me back and said, like, wow, like, if this went down, like if I lost my dad, how would life have changed, right? And I think
Mm.
sometimes I look at maybe it was me, in the sense of maybe I was a little bit unappreciative of the things that I had, right? Maybe I got everything sort of easy, and I never paid attention, or I was never thankful, right? And that episode, that timeline, or when that happened, it changed me completely as a person. And that's why I said I became closer to a lot of other people as well. Like, even Zishan knew this as well. Like I said, him and I, our bond grew very, very strong at that point in time. And it's like I said, alhamdulillah, today he's happy, he's healthy, and every day is
Alhamdulillah.
like an extra blessing that when you see him, he's just happy to be here, right, kind of thing. So yeah.
Alhamdulillah, that's good. That's good. That's good. And so you've been home for what now? Since when did you like what
I
in
start.
March?
So it's been. I know. I actually. I started working from home last year, March, beginning of March.
Beginning of March.
Yeah.
So and here we are now, a year and over. What has what has changed for you in like, since COVID in your
Yeah.
life?
Yeah. You know what? There's a lot that has changed in terms of, like, I don't even know if there's enough time to go through all this, but like, let's say I'm just thinking, like, spending patterns, behaviors, your mental health. Like, mental health, honestly, for my thing, before I always used to take this very lightly. Like, you would hear about it, you'd be like, what are you talking about, man? Like,
Yeah.
like, what do you,
Mm,
I don't get this. What do you mean mental health, right?
right.
But this COVID thing has really, it really makes you feel and realize, okay, this mental health thing, it's a big issue. It's a big deal, right? And you start to realize this. Like I said, I think this was about month 3 or 4 that I was kind of in this exact box here, Monday to Friday. Actually, I shouldn't even Monday to Friday. I should say 7 on 7, especially in the winters,
Wow.
where else are you gonna go, right? I mean,
Okay,
the
yeah,
only thing you can do is just grocery shopping and back. I mean, you can't take the
right.
kids. Like Yusuf right now, being 3 years old, he's never seen a lot of the things that Adam already experienced. Like if I like
Mm,
nowadays, I mask him
Yeah.
up still, and I pick him up like, okay, Yusuf, still safe. Let's just go to Canadian Tire to get whatever fishing stuff. And this guy is like, wow, like what is going on here? Like what is
There's another
this?
world out
wow.
there? What is this place?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't know, right? Even like let's say even with Adam, being he's in grade one, what's very difficult is you watch his development and you see that his development is suffering, right?
Okay.
Because a child that age, they need to be like outside, they need to be running, they need to
Be
be like,
social. Yeah.
socializing like big time. And he's literally parked in front of a screen, like for whatever 5 6 hours, Zoom classes. And I'm just looking at him like half the time he's zoned out, like he's like,
Yeah.
looking at whatever. And you feel bad, right? I mean, these are things that money money can't fill that gap. It doesn't matter how much money you had,
Mm-hmm.
you can't fill that hole. That's something that you need to put him out there and just have him
Yeah.
fall down, have him get hurt, or that way that's what kind of
Yeah.
molds the character of somebody. I think Zishan, to that point, like I said, hopefully I don't go off track here with your original question, but when I like I said, when I look at Adam and when I look at the kind of his development, I think about myself, right? And a lot of people might have asked me, actually a few people in our little group did mention to me on the side. They said, hey, you're so relaxed with this, like grandpa jokes and all that. I said, like, how do you do it? Like, people cracking jokes. I mean, how are you so, like, just loose with it? And I said, you know what, it's not that. And I know, Zishan, sometimes you put in, oh, let's all be respectful and not to offend.
Mhm.
And for those that know me, I think all of us know I'm very relaxed. Like I don't get offended in that sense. But what's interesting is what got me here to this point, right? And that was, like I said, when I look at development, when I was back in high school, I was basically the child that got bullied,
Mhm.
right? I was really kind of like at the bottom, getting squished, right? For all kinds of reasons, right? I don't even
Yeah.
know what the reasons were anymore, but it's those experiences that then toughen you up because then you have a decision to make at whatever 15 or 16. You choose to like say, oh my God, like I'm going to do something very bad with my life because I can't take it anymore, or you
Mhm.
say, okay, I'm gonna take this, zone it out, and actually turn into a good situation and just go along with it till the point that they're like, well, this guy doesn't do anything. He's actually just going along with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What
Right.
else can you do? And I think that's kind of just kind of it molds your character to the point where you learn how to deal with these situations later on, right? And like I said, not that I take it as a bullying, but now it's fun. I mean, now I'm so used to it that it's part of it, right? But then again,
Yeah.
these are the things that you learn when you're very small that you know a child has to make these decisions on their own, right? You can only kind of help them and guide them, but they have to
Mhm.
fall so many times to decide, okay, well, you know what, either I keep falling or either I'm gonna stand up or I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a different avenue or I'm gonna make new friends,
Right.
right? So, but yeah, I mean, these are some things that, yeah, being at home COVID, you have so much time to reflect on this stuff and you think about it and you're like, wow, like
Yep.
you don't see the stuff before, but yeah, now you do.
Man, I mean, for me, the grandpa part, it always, I have a different take on it, and it's more in the sense of like wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I mean, ever since I've known you since second year university, I mean, we became friends like that. I remember you came over, and like just the way that you talk, the way you tackle things, and the way that you see life or saw life, um, you would take it would be from like a wise point of view, right? It wasn't like a stupid little kid. It was someone who was speaking with like with
Yeah.
logic and that comes from your dad, right? Like and your mom as well. Like the way that they trained you and brought you up, you being the oldest kid as well, the responsibilities you had. Um, so you've always been like a good companion that way that you can guide your friends also to make good decisions and um, bounce stuff off of you and
Yeah.
whatnot, which is good. And in that sense, that grandpa part, I would hope that a majority of it comes from
The
the
wisdom.
wisdom that you bring into conversations,
Yeah.
right?
I know.
Um,
I'd
so
I'd agree with that. I think wisdom and maturity, right?
Yeah.
maturity.
I
Yes.
think because our friend here exuded that a lot while we were, off being silly, and
Yeah.
pretty much, and borderline immature, right? And that's what it was, right? I don't know if you remember this, Ajmal. I met you in a Mat 133 quiz with you and Muzammil when you both came and sat beside me. And I knew Muzammil because we were family friends. Because I was just like, I looked at his name, I was like, oh, you're so and so's like, son and everything. And we met like years ago, whatever. And then you were right beside me. So it's so funny. Like I was sitting, and I had basically, it was near the end of one of the rows, and I had one seat beside me and one seat here, right? So you had to basically sit separately, and you would be getting different versions. So these two wanted the same versions of the quiz. So so Muzzy was on my right, and Najwa was on my left, and the whole time I'm sitting, and they don't know me at this point, right? And they're just talking to each other. Oh,
Oh
what
my
about this
God.
and this? And it was so funny. And I was just like, hey, your name is Muzamil, right? Like I know you. It's so weird, right? So creepy. All of a sudden, I'm like, hey, your last name is Murad, right?
Oh my gosh.
And then he's like, yeah. And then Ajwal introduces himself, and I would say from then on, and this is by the way, I'm talking 2007, so this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
So if you were to like take that point, and even throughout university and afterwards, at first I thought it was just funny that the grandpa joke was thrown around, but as time went on, I realized that on a maturity level, Ajmal was on a different wavelength, right? Like he was like you said, he was wiser and he was beyond where we were, right? So I think most of us, I mean, besides the sometimes the joke part, right? We are all, I would say, there, right? We're like, no, Ajmal is just more mature than us, and we're never gonna get there. And if we get there, he's ahead again.
He's ahead again.
He's always ahead. For me, I remember we went to Niagara Falls, right? And I
Yeah,
was more planning this trip to Niagara Falls,
yeah.
and I remember I used to work Saturday mornings. Ajmal was at my house, there, punctual. That's one thing about Ajmal, like punctual. Don't be late. And
Yeah.
and that's something that I've taken personally as well now. Like,
Yeah.
hey, timing is very important. Um, and but yeah, like just the how you plan like this mini day trip to the barbecue and the chicken and this and that. And it's stuff that hey, us at that age, we're not doing any of that.
Like, oh, someone
Um,
so and so is getting it. We're just there to eat and chill, right?
yeah.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a tangent from the question that I was asking. But
Yeah.
anyway, this
But you
um,
guys, if you don't mind talking, you guys also worked together, right? Back in university.
yeah,
You guys were in
Yeah.
the same
yes,
company, if I'm not mistaken.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. What year was that? That was 2011. We
20.
worked together for a year. Was 2011? Yeah, 2011. We worked together for a year. So I worked in the company for 8 months or something like that, by myself, and then Ajmal worked there for a year. And man, what an experience that was.
You know what, Dawood? It's a type of experience that you know what like I said, jokes aside, like the grandpa, it's one of those things that till the last till like if I make it till like 65 or whatever, till the last time I'm here on this earth, it's one of those things that I will never forget. It was just
Yeah.
it's something that's gonna stay with you. I mean, think about the chance of like you go to school, you learn, and you're doing all these quizzes and all that fun stuff, and then not only did you get a job in the same company and the same department, Zish and I were sitting literally side by side.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Yeah,
So that's how close you guys are working.
that's
Wow.
how
yeah,
close we
yeah.
were. Like it
Yeah.
was
Same
it was
department, I
right there.
assume, right? Like same
Oh yeah, yeah.
department.
Same
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
manager,
wow.
everything. Yeah. Um,
So it was like
Not
I said, it was a very
not a
very
lot
good
of people get
experience.
to do that. Like
no.
I have had the chance to work with people like who I studied with, like we went to school with at some point, and it's like,
Hmm.
whoa, fancy seeing you here. But this was like much later. I wouldn't say something that was right out of school.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, this was like my manager was looking to hire someone, and I'm like, okay, how about this guy? And he trusted me so much, and he's like, okay, fine, yeah, this guy, done, Ajmal. And man, what it was such. It was first
It
of
was
all, go ahead, Ajmal.
no, I was gonna say no. Sorry, I was gonna say that would we carpooled together to work, and the experience didn't just end from like being in the office. It was
Oh wow.
picking each other up, getting to work, and going all the way back home. Like it was long. Like I mean,
Yeah.
we drove by. We went right through all the way to DVP. in that traffic every
What?
single day.
So where was the
Uh,
office?
oh, it
DV,
was North York.
North York?
North
Yeah, I'm
York.
like, it sounds like
Yeah,
North
right
York.
by the
Oh my
science
goodness.
center.
Wow.
So
That's a long
yeah,
drive.
man.
That's a lot to chat about, but yeah, sorry.
Oh man, I would sleep some of the times. Sometimes Ajmal would be sleepy. He would need some rest. I would drive. I would
Wow.
just um
It was very very good time.
yeah. And on our team, it was me, Ajmal, and we had another Muslim guy. He was older than us, right? Farouk. I saw Farouk recently, by the way, at Estee Lauder when I was working there. He used to work very close. I used to see him on Jummas.
Yeah.
But anyway, three of us. So, and our manager was an idiot. Like, man, I don't even know how to explain him, Ajmal, but he was something else. He was just a joker. Like, he was a comedian guy, and there was barely any work. And
Yeah.
we would just fool around the whole day.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
we would come in, finish our work in half an hour.
And just chill for the rest of the day?
Yeah, well, no. Then Zishan looks at me. He's like, "So now what?"
Oh man, yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
Those
And
are
then
the
Aj
best jobs, eh? In the beginning, those are the best jobs. Later on, you
yeah.
start to feel like, oh man, this is not fulfilling. But when
Oh
you
yeah,
have someone, when
exactly.
you have good company, then you're like, yeah, no, no, I want to be done with this. I want to chill.
Oh man, and then Ajmal left, and 2 weeks after, I think I gave my notification. Like I left like a month after as well. I was like, forget
Yeah,
this. I'm not doing this commute on my
Yeah.
own. Um,
yeah,
and yeah, man. Since then, that was interesting point in our lives.
yeah,
Um,
man. But yeah, what
so
keeps you busy otherwise these days, Ajmal? I noticed you have a car collection in the back. I don't know if we talked about this before. I think we have touched about this like in person. I mean, like your car collection. I see. Sorry.
I know Zishan gave me one of them. I
Oh,
don't know
obviously,
if you remember.
obviously. Yeah.
But no, I just this is just a little hobby that I always kind of had since a couple, I guess back in the days. I always used to I have another shelf here with cars as well. I used
Oh
to
wow.
always used to collect model little cars.
Do you mind
And I think
sharing a picture? We will put it up on the podcast. Like later on, just share a picture
yeah,
with
I'll
us.
share a
I'll
picture of
I'll,
you with
I'll
with
put it up.
another wall.
Yes. So
But
we can all
yeah,
view.
no,
Yeah.
I think it was just the bridge because I always had the small little cars that you have when you're the ones that you're just throwing around.
Yeah.
And then I started getting into fancier looking vehicles, and then not wanting to ruin them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I started getting cars, BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, and so forth. And it just kind of just grew into this thing of like, yeah, oh look, that looks cool, and
Yeah.
it just stuck
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thing, right?
No, it's a little hobby. It's a little collectibles for yourself, man.
That's
Nothing wrong with
basically
it.
it. Yeah, I mean nowadays like these ones up here, that would both boys are not allowed to touch these ones, so they know
Yeah, these
like
are these are not toys. These are collectibles.
whatever's on
You
the
know.
ground you can use, but these
Yeah.
ones forget about it. Make a U-turn and continue out of the room.
Just just
oh man,
you know how he says I don't know, it's not a spoiler per se, but it's in Breaking Bad, when Hank says, when his wife is like, oh my God, Hank, you're collecting all these rocks, they're minerals, Mary.
minerals.
They're not rocks. So it's like, kids,
Oh
these
my
are not
God, have you ever
toys.
seen Breaking Bad as well?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing before.
Oh, so you
Oh
know,
man,
eh?
I'm gonna quick
But
call out to one guy in our group. His name's Arif.
yeah, as
So he
usual,
hasn't watched
the
Breaking Bad.
obligatory call out to RF,
Really?
right?
Yeah.
Yes, he probably still
What are
hasn't
you
watched
watching nowadays, Ajmal?
No, you know what? Nowadays, Zishan, I've got subscription to Disney Plus.
Oh,
So I,
Hmm.
I by the way, I got this as a gift, so I just kind of I had it for the kids, and I have Amazon Prime and then Netflix. So half the time, I'll be honest with you, I do watch some form of programming in the afternoons.
Okay.
It's so random. I can't even give you a name of what it is. I'll just be like, all right, let's just try this.
Right.
Ajmal
You
watches
live life on
Price
the
is
edge,
Right.
bro. Wow.
No, I
Ajmal
mean like
watches.
I think yesterday I was watching.
Daredevil.
No, it wasn't even that. It was
No, no, I
it's
mean
called.
you're a daredevil to be able to
Oh,
watch. Just put something
Yeah,
on and watch it. I have check IMDb, check the ratings. Has anyone seen it? Is it good?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and then I'll check it out. Sorry, you
yeah.
were saying
I was
Go ahead,
watching.
go on,
I think it's called Mine. Mine.
mine.
Just. I don't think it's
Oh,
called The Mine.
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 Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you. Basic story is the soldier puts his foot on a mine, and then he's
Oh,
kind of stuck.
No, I
Oh,
have not. Wow, that sounds interesting and
sounds
dark
dark,
at the same
man.
time.
So he knows he's on a mine, but he just can't
Okay,
take another step. So now you just kind
Right.
of, he has to spend the whole night in the desert.
dude, that sounds pretty interesting though. Like,
It
it
does
seems like it would be a good movie.
sometimes, like I said, half the time I don't even know what it is that I've clicked on. I'm just like, all right, this looks interesting, and sometimes I'll just forward. I'm like, okay,
Oh
same
man.
plot,
Okay.
boring, 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 boring. Oh wow, look what's going on here. I mean,
Oh God.
no, but hold on, no. Just to be fair
You
though,
gave me
the only time
anxiety just by telling me all of this. How can you just randomly watch something, bro? I'll be like, no,
sometimes,
I'll be like, it looks crap. I'm not watching.
no, I mean, unless let's say on a Saturday, let's say I
Yeah.
have my cousins coming over or brother-in-law, whatever it is, then I'll do what Zishan does. Like then I'll go to Rotten Tomatoes, check out what's going on. But the only thing is, it's hit or miss. Sometimes we've picked a movie
Yeah.
that it's 70 or 80, and it's the biggest flop ever. And then sometimes you're out of options. You pick the 30 or 40%. You're like, wow, like oh, what just
What kind of
happened?
what kind of movies do you like to watch, though, Ashwin?
Yeah,
Like, do you like to
Thriller,
watch like
thriller,
thrillers?
action. I suppose
thriller,
action.
No, he's saying thriller.
thriller.
What
Thriller.
about
Okay,
something that is really open-ended and like by the end of it, you're still wondering what happened, and
Oh, I
you're
love
like,
those movies.
you love those
like
movies?
Tenet.
Okay,
Love those movies. Like
okay,
if you ask me, I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe throw some names at me because I've probably seen
okay.
them all.
There's a movie
Tenet.
I want. Well, Tenet, yes. There's a movie I want you to watch. It's not very
Okay.
popular. It's a B grade movie. I watched it last year, and it was just one of those things. My wife actually found them. Found this movie, and I was just like, I I tell you, this movie still makes me think a lot. It's called Coherence. Have you seen that movie?
No, I never. No.
Okay, it's like
I'm
a
gonna watch it.
solid,
Text it to me.
I would solid B plus, I would say, because it doesn't have big actors. The concept was really well explored, but let me tell you something. You know what is going on, and it isn't until the last 5 to 10 minutes where you realize that you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, like that movie, and that movie has no ending, by the way. Okay, and it is so good. You have to watch it. It's like one of those mind-bending movies. It's called Coherence. Okay.
Okay.
Just don't search, don't read the plot, don't read anything, just watch it. Okay? Just
Okay.
okay. I mean, how you watch it, I'm not gonna discuss that on this call, but just
Sure.
watch that movie, Coherence. Okay? Really good movie.
All right.
I have a whole bunch of
What
And
I have a
what's
whole
the
bunch
year
of other
though?
ones here. I believe this
2013.
one, 2013. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
2013. I have this picture on my phone that basically lists like different genres of must-watch movies. And every once in a while, when I'm really bored, I pull that out. So that was my next question. Do you have a like a list or something that you're keeping? But then you told me you just randomly watch something. It's just I don't know how you do that, man.
Yeah, I don't know
You know,
how he lives life on the edge.
you know what? I watch so many. I think I watch so many movies, and I'm not too much into TV shows. Like
Oh,
season one, season two. I
okay.
think it just kind of like it
What
just
about
like
Disney Plus
I never get to
shows?
finish. Sorry,
What
was that
about
now?
What about these Disney Plus shows from Marvel? Like, do you? I mean, you're not a big on superhero, so yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Do
know.
you?
Interestingly, I watch all the superhero movies, but I know like you guys follow it like the story, like to the plot line of what's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on. But I'm not that deep. I mean, like I said, let's say I'm watching like Avengers or something, then I'll be like, okay, I get the story of what's
yeah,
going on,
Mm,
and like, wow,
yeah,
that's good. Or like the Batman trilogy, I'm like, wow, this is like pasted on the wall here. Like this
yeah,
has to be here permanently because these are like movies that will never, ever, ever be like, yeah, that was bad movie.
yeah,
I didn't
right.
get it.
yeah.
But
Zishan can give
yeah,
you more detail of those movies, by the way. Zishan's like amazing at this stuff, so right?
no,
About what?
About all the comic books, the superhero movies and stuff. If you ever need
Don't
to,
listen to him. It's Dawood. He's just making a joke right now, Jamal.
anyway,
I
no.
make fun of Dawood every single day. I'm like Dawood. I don't even know what you're talking about. So I don't know. Have you seen Tenet?
no, I haven't seen that movie. I've seen it on the list, but I haven't clicked on it. Just
Just
it looked like it was an action movie. That's why I'm like, yeah, I don't
Hmm.
know if this is gonna be worth it. But is it actually a good twisty turny movie?
Twisty turny is the right word for it.
Okay,
I would just
Literally.
say try to do it like watch it once, give yourself a couple of weeks, and then watch it again. Just do it like that.
right.
No, watch it once, watch some YouTube videos, and then watch it again. Yeah, for real.
I'll tell
That's
you,
bound to happen. That's bound to happen after
I'll
the first
tell
watch.
I'll tell you one that does come to mind. But like I said, let's not go too deep into this category. But I'll tell you one movie that I watched, which is an Indian movie, or
Hmm.
yeah, I guess you could say Indian movie that it had a really good story to it. Like
Hmm.
even I was like, damn, like
Yeah.
so let me see.
Okay.
I'll throw the name to you. I throw it. It's weird. It's a funny weird name. It's called Bahubali.
Yo, that movie's
Oh,
legit, yo. That's a good
Zishan loves
movie.
that movie, man.
No, I was like, what is this nonsense? And then we just randomly clicked on it,
Yeah,
and then
Yeah,
it just started getting so interesting. Like, what's going down here, right?
yeah.
man, yeah, it's a good movie.
I
Like, it has a
haven't
good
seen
plot,
it
good
like
action.
in full sitting. I've seen it in pieces, so please, I'd still like to go back and see it. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're free to talk about it.
And
But
there's
yeah,
part
Zishan.
one and part two, eh? There's two parts.
Yes, there's two part. No, like I think what made it so good is basically part two. Like it was so well connected.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Like it was one of the movies you try like when you finish part one, I'd be so upset having to wait for part two. Like I'd be
Right.
throwing a fit having to wait for part two. Like there'd be like
Oh,
Yeah.
riot.
did you guys watched it like with subtitles, or did you, or is there a dubbed version as well? Do you know?
Subtitles always.
Subtitles?
I would
Yeah.
just
Okay, Zishan. Okay, Zishan, don't give me that. Okay, guys,
I
let
would
me
I
just
started,
expose him. Let me
started
just
watching it that way, and
yeah,
I think I was into like the first maybe 10 minutes,
yeah.
and Warda comes downstairs and she's like, I didn't know you watched Tamil movies. I know what are you talking about. This is the language. What are you talking about? She's like, this is not even in Hindi. Like this is like a
Yeah, this
different
is
language.
Tamil. Yeah,
I said, "It's not the same to me. She can you see? It's not the same.
yeah.
Like,
It's not the same.
not that it makes a difference because I'm following the subtitles, right? I'm reading along.
Well, why do you think I asked if it was subbed or dubbed, bro? If it was Hindi, I would know. I would understand.
Oh
Okay, that was a
man.
good one. See, that another one of those things that makes you a grandpa, just mashallah.
I, yeah.
No, but I've heard a lot of good things about that movie. It's one of those I want to watch it, but yeah, I haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Dawood and Omer, they try to, ever since that episode, they give me Bollywood movie recommendations. Especially Omer. Omer is the Bollywood king.
I
Yeah,
used,
so
I used to watch a lot more Bollywood movies. I think even back in the university days,
Yeah,
like something would come out, be like, oh yeah, let's let me just try to get a bootleg version of it, and or pirated version,
we don't
and
endorse this. We don't endorse this.
no,
no.
I think I started getting into some movies that got into, like it was just so poorly put together that I'm
Yeah,
thinking like, do these people even have like a license to make movies? Like it just like what am I
yeah.
watching here? I
Just
felt
need a
like I
Yeah.
camera, Just need a
like I
camera,
just
a bunch of guys record and put it on YouTube, right? What did I say that out
right.
loud?
That's when I
Uh,
kind of stopped with
yeah.
Bollywood movies because I felt it was the same repetitive stuff again and again and again, and it just seemed to be getting so. It seemed to be getting very pornographic at this point. I was like, man, like I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Yeah,
So there's
there are good movies, I'll be honest with you. There are a handful of good
yeah,
movies
it's
where the story is
very
good. But yeah, you're right.
yeah.
The clothing and the revealing clothing and all that has gotten pretty bad as well. Sorry,
Yeah.
before I forget, another movie recommendation, Bollywood movie this time. The one that really makes you kind of go woof, right? Like a psychological thriller. Okay, it's called I don't know if you've seen this. It's called Karthik Calling Karthik.
I've seen that. Yeah.
What did you think about that one?
All
Without
right.
any
Don't
spoilers.
sp- don't
Zishan
spoil it.
hasn't,
Don't
no
spoil it. I have
spoilers.
to watch it
Zishan
still.
hasn't seen it.
I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I'm not gonna say
Did
anything.
you
But
like it?
I really like that movie. Yeah.
I really loved that movie. I did not see
Nice.
that coming. And normally I'm like, yo,
Nice.
I know what's going on, but that movie
Okay.
really got me.
We'll
So,
keep it. We'll end that conversation
Zishan,
right there
you
because
need
I
to
don't
watch
want to know
that
anything
movie,
else.
please.
Oh
Please.
yeah.
Got it.
Oh
Got it. I
okay.
know. I
Yeah.
need to
Well,
finish Attack on Titan first, man. That's
Oh
just
my God,
man. Ajmal, man. This is a good cartoon show.
so
What
what?
Um,
anime?
it's an anime. Attack on Titan.
Do you watch anime
Um,
or I think we lost him.
Ajmal,
I know what was that, Zion? What was the question?
do you watch animes? Any
Um,
cartoons?
not really. I mean, like unless I'm watching with the kids. Like I think Adam got me watching this. I don't know. He's telling me all about this called Luca or something.
Oh, Luca is on Disney. Yeah, it's a
Oh, that's the
movie.
Yeah,
movie.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
that's the
like,
movie.
yeah.
Look,
So
unless it's
not so much.
randomly on the channel that he's flipping, he's not watched it. No,
Yeah, man. No, this show is good.
it's really good. Like, I would
Is it like you know,
say
like Dragon Ball Z kind of things?
yes, something similar. Yes.
Yeah,
No,
because
as in
only
like
Yeah, I would.
It's like
I wouldn't say it's like
animus.
Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is different. I mean, anime is animated. It's a different
Yeah,
style of
yeah,
how they draw the stuff, right? But the story, I would say, is a little bit more mature.
yeah. Much more mature.
You
And
know,
Dragon
it's
Ball Z
not
was
like,
more silly. Yeah, yeah. You're right.
yeah, Dragon Ball Z and more silly, just fighting for the sake of the planet, right? This is okay, you did there. Basically, these huge giants are attacking their village or their city, right? Um, they live in a walled city, but somehow
Kingdom. Yeah,
these
Walled
titans
Kingdom. Yeah,
kingdom, yeah, and these titans are attacking it, and they don't know where they're coming from, what's going on. Um, and as the story progresses, you just learn more and more about the world that they're living in.
yeah,
And so it's interesting that way.
yeah,
They leave you on cliffhanger, so
yeah.
it's good. A few of us have
Mm,
started watching it, and we're enjoying it.
Yeah.
So.
I'll take a shot at it.
Yeah, I
See.
mean, I think it's on Netflix. You can find it actually.
yeah.
Yeah, on Netflix. You can find like the first season at least. Yeah, season one. If you like it, find another way to watch the rest of it.
Yeah,
If you don't like it, you can drop it.
check
So,
it out for sure.
Yeah, so when are we
yeah.
actually seeing you, man, in person?
You know what? I think as soon as this COVID stuff is done, I already got my first shot. I'm
Okay.
Nice.
down to set something up. I mean, Zishan, get on a plane, fly over, we'll meet you in Niagara Falls or something. And I think that's the best way to do it.
We just wave from the other side.
Oh man, you
No,
guys,
man.
instead of me flying all over there, you guys need to book a ticket, come fly to Texas,
Yeah.
and check out Southern USA.
Yeah, what's the weather like these days?
35-ish.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
I think by
man.
the
But
time
it's
the
not like you
borders
go.
open, it's gonna
I'm not
be
working outside. I don't go outside. I take my laptop and decide, yeah, I'm gonna work in the heat. Of course not.
Yeah.
You you plan your day accordingly.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know the what do you call it? You know how we used to do the annual meetup at a cottage? I think remember we started in Wasega,
Hmm.
and those. I mean, like I said, I'm hoping those we have that back on the radar. I don't think maybe this year, but maybe hopefully next year. Those are really really nice get-togethers.
Yeah, those are always memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
miss those.
I still remember the first time I think I went to China. I think it was the Wasega Beach one,
Hmm.
and it was this tiny like chicken coop, man.
And listen, let me tell you what happened with that.
And,
No
and, and
one confirmed back to me until last minute.
that
I
was,
booked the
I
place for
don't remember
6.
I don't remember who it was, but you know how you guys are talking about like me giving you wisdom. I don't know if it was Omer. I'm pretty sure it was Zishan. I gave somebody like an earful because I was like, you guys work. Like I'm telling them like you guys don't own properties. You don't have anything. I'm like you guys couldn't like put in a little bit more money. Like what is going on here?
That was let me tell you the story that was okay.
No, no,
I
I do
always ask
remember
ahead
the
of time.
story, yes. And he left
You were
early
there
too
that way.
because
You
he
were
had
there
another
too.
wedding to go to.
No, I didn't. I didn't leave
Not you,
early. I think it was some. Yeah,
Ajmal,
one something.
Ajmal, yeah.
Oh, anyway, I had booked the place for 6 people. It could hold up to 8 people maximum, but you have to pay
Uh-huh.
extra. And we snuck in 2 extra people
Yeah.
because in the end, last week, everyone decided that they wanted to come along,
I
and
think
it's like, okay, well, you
this
can't.
was the first year I came as well. So I was just like,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know if I want to come again. And then we changed the venue, right? Like then we got
the
that other
venue.
place that was like very, very close to the beach, right?
Yes, you
Um,
did. Yes.
the one that had the backyard and the deck as well, right? Like the one that we went to twice, I
I
remember.
went to twice. Yeah, and the second time was the plumbing issue, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And then the
And
third, and then that was the third time I went, and the fourth time that was the farmhouse, but I didn't stay over. I don't know who stayed
right,
over.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
remember
think
that.
the last one was probably the best in terms of how we moved up the ladder. The
Yeah,
farmhouse, because that
that
one we
was
had like
nice.
we had a private pool,
Yeah.
and it was a nice setup. Like I think that's kind of where the standard is now. If
yeah.
Oh,
you
for
look at
sure.
And then
Yeah,
these guys had the Chile trip. Who was there? Did you go, Ajmal? No, you didn't go, right?
you know what that you know what like I said, I sometimes I do regret it, but it was borderline. So that trip I was actually planned to go to the
Yeah.
point where I paid my ticket. done. Done. I was
Oh, I remember this. Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. And we couldn't,
And
yeah, we couldn't be transferred.
that was the year I also went to Mauritius, and like I said, I remember even to the last minute, Ward was telling me like, go, 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 you'll never get this chance, right? And what had happened is Yusuf in Mauritius, like he had a couple of episodes of like seizures,
Okay.
so it was pretty bad, and like it's kind of like, oh my, like you really panic when you're seeing this, right? And this
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
I think 2 or 3 times in Mauritius. So when I landed back in Canada, I think it was a week or two right after that I would have to leave and go to Chile. So I at that point, like I said, literally the first day I landed back here in Toronto, we went straight to the pediatrician just to find out
Yeah,
like what's going on with this kid, right? Like there's got to be something, like he just can't go like this. And
yeah,
that's where the plan for me to join Chile, I had to walk away from my ticket. Um,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is, but
yeah.
maybe there'll be a Mexico trip or something. I don't know.
No,
I'm
honestly,
thinking,
yeah, I
honestly,
missed
that's
that too.
that's the way to go, Ajmal. You're thinking the right way. Um, the next trip, I mean, why not, right? Like, let's go to a resort or something.
Inshallah, whatever, right? Like that's what I was saying too. I missed out too, unfortunately, for reasons that are, let's just keep those aside. I know.
Yeah,
You know. Look, I'm looking at you. You know who you are. Okay? It's not anybody on this call. You know who you are. I'm kidding. But inshallah, honestly, I couldn't go either. So, like I said, I think I don't know who I was talking to. Oh, yeah, when we met up recently, right? That's what I was saying. Like, guys, let's plan again. That's okay, whatever. That wasn't meant to be, right? And inshallah, maybe we can plan something. I think
yeah,
Iceland was in the cards, if I'm not mistaken. But
Iceland 2020,
Iceland 2020, right? Yeah. Okay.
that's
Well,
what it
now
was.
2022 or something. I don't know. But no,
yeah.
inshallah, I'm sure I'm sure another trip will come by, right? Like
Yeah, man, inshallah.
whatever location works. So you will
Yeah.
have your chance, inshallah.
Yeah,
And so will I.
there was something my dad was telling me the other day, and he went to this was two weekends ago. He did go to a cottage. I wasn't able to go, but he went with with his brother, and with all of his sisters,
Hmm.
and it was basically just all of them. And they were leaving, and just make sure all my dad's stuff is good. And he basically, this is like the old, a very old crew here, right?
Yeah.
And they were saying that basically, when you have an opportunity to do something, especially like this, like to go out, and this was just a weekend trip, don't come up with like excuses about like work and this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
because that chance, you don't know who's going to be here tomorrow to be part of that. Like I said, my
Yeah.
dad had altogether there were 9 kids. Two of them have already passed away, and in no and not in any order. Meaning
Hmm.
one of my aunts was actually
Yeah.
sort of younger aunts, so you don't
Hmm.
know,
You don't
right?
know.
So
Yeah. No, it
it's
makes
one of those
sense.
things that, like I said, sometimes, you work and you work and you work, and like, you guys know
Yeah.
this better than me, right?
Yeah.
We always talk about investment, properties, cars, what's making money, stocks, bonds, right? But the thing is, if you, I don't take this as wisdom or not, but you get into it, it's good. But like I said, like let's say hypothetically, I always look at, like, let's say your stock account, right? And you're looking at this, and people say, "Oh, it's a long-term strategy and all that." I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna be 60, and I'm gonna say, okay, this whatever has a whatever call it 12,000% growth. What am I gonna do with that then?
Yeah.
Am I just gonna say, yeah, yeah, I got that 12,000% growth on this
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
It's
And
of no use.
you're
And
right. You'd be too old to enjoy it, and
told,
yeah, you would
yeah,
have
I
missed
told
out.
one of my former bosses. He's from Sri Lanka, and he has a couple properties in Sri Lanka, and I think he has 7 condos here. He's set, and he was telling me, he's like, he really wants to buy this car. I can't remember exactly what model it was. Something called, I think it's called Land Rover Autobiography or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like $100,000 SUV or whatever it is, right? And I looked at him. I'm like, I don't understand something. Like, you have all this income coming in. Like, this is like, chump change for you. Like, why are you not executing? Why are you not pulling the trigger on this, right? He's like, yeah, I don't know, this, that, and the other. And the conversation kept going like this, right? And then we had the Kobe Bryant incident, right? And I told him that day, everybody's always like, oh, did you see the news? It's so sad. I'm like, dude, what did you realize from this? He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's tough. I'm like, dude, this guy was set. Like, he had nothing to do. Like, this
Yeah.
is like like if you don't see this, like I don't know what kind of strategy books you're giving me to read and all these degrees and all that stuff. That means nothing is jiving in your head. You don't get it. You're missing on the big picture. And then
Mhm.
I'm like, and after I told him that, he's like, yo, you know what, man, like. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna sell one of these properties, and like that's it. Buy whatever I want to buy. And I
Yeah.
told him, I said, "What are you looking for, man?" I told him, "You're 52." I said, I mean, you don't know if you're gonna make it till tomorrow. I said, "You have all this wealth," and he said, "Yeah, obviously he wants to pass on to his kids." I said, "Yeah, that's great. That's good." But I said, if you're just gonna be in this to grind till you're dead, with chasing false dreams, so what's the point? So yeah, I know. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's why. Yeah, I just have to be mindful of that kind of stuff, right? I mean, if you are, then you're gonna have a happier, healthier life. At least that's my opinion on it.
No,
Oh,
I
man, you couldn't have said it any better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the point of all this work and earning and everything? And it doesn't mean you just go nuts. You always splurge, but
Yeah.
every once in a while, it's like, treat yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, and then just do something for yourself. And it doesn't have to be extravagant. It could just be something simple as going for a nice dinner or buying yourself a good pair of running shoes or, it's something so funny. I saw something, I saw say someone say something to me or send me some picture or something, and it's talking about being kind to yourself, basically, and showing compassion, right? It's like, okay, you show compassion to your kids, your family, and everything else. You give everybody a priority, but you don't give yourself any priority at all. So that's a really good point you raised, because it doesn't mean that you just start going like, okay, I'm not gonna know how long I'm gonna live, so I'm gonna buy a Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Exactly.
start small, right? Do small things for yourself, and yeah, no, it's great advice.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Mr. Ajmal here, with great
That's right.
advice,
The
I guess.
punchline after all that though is the Mexico trip. Like we gotta find 4 days in a year,
Four
not per
days.
year.
I want
Four
7, man.
days in whatever time span that you want, 3 years or 4 years, and you just have to just say, look, there you go. We're
Honestly,
going.
I see it's totally doable. Even like I would say if people are comfortable, next year is totally doable. Like I don't know how
Yeah.
many people will be comfortable this year, because I'm sure by year end
Mm.
there would be
Here's a
options.
little, yeah,
But
Yeah, it's
next
too
year
close right now.
definitely, inshallah. Yeah, next year, inshallah. I don't see why it can't happen.
I agree. I agree. Like 2022, some resort somewhere is definitely
Yeah,
possible.
we have Telegram poll options, so I, encourage you, Ajmal, to jump in. Guys, I know I don't talk much, but here's a
I know. Can we
poll.
can we task you with the with this
Yeah,
project?
yeah. You decide when you want to drop this poll and actually like, come up with it, right? And see. No, I'm not kidding. I'm
Just
I'm
start
serious.
gathering. Just start gathering the thoughts. Okay, what's people thoughts?
Yeah.
yeah.
Family, no family. I think I'm of the opinion I would like to bring my family. And
I think we all have kids, and I think I don't know. It's not like if it's organized and planned properly, yeah, I think you guys. I think this will be like an awesome trip.
I think so. I think you're onto something, man.
If the wives are going to be thanking you and they're like all in for it, then you know it's a solid plan, man.
Yeah. Hey, none of
Yeah.
us have traveled much recently.
I would.
Yeah.
The way I look at it at that point, if you incorporate them and they're like, that would why go for the basic room? Let's go for the luxury one.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go all out, man. Why are we working? Why are we living? Why,
Treat yourself.
treat yourself, man. Treat yourself. But no, I agree, because I think it would be cool. Like imagine like if it's even if it's like 6 or 8 couples, right? Like, we can always like it'd be hard for us to always go for the same thing, but you always have someone to do something with. Be like, hey, you know what? I want to do that excursion, or hey, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go grab lunch. Like the wives could do that amongst themselves. The guys, we could do that amongst, like, obviously, like there's so many different combos you could do this with. And I totally see. Now you got me excited for something that's not even going to happen for a year. Thanks, Ajmal.
Yeah, but hey, this will take a year, so um,
So, okay, I'm
I
waiting
think
for
it's a good
Ajmal
thing to
to
keep in
start the
mind.
poll and then give us some
I'll
options.
do it
Okay?
as soon as I figure out how to create a poll. I'll put the
Oh
poll.
God. Here we go.
Oh
Maybe
man.
maybe we're gonna need to do another video tutorial.
Oh my gosh. No man, good stuff, good stuff. Anyway,
No.
any any concluding remarks, Ajmal?
Yeah.
I think I said it all, man.
Good.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think maybe you know what I, you know, I just because I said I know our group is gonna watch this like our chai shy team like if I've never said it, I mean, or if you don't still don't know, I mean, you guys are like the best thing that could have happened to me basically my life, right? I mean, the only thing I can think of is like, one day, inshallah, when my kids would grow up, that they have, awesome friends the way I had, very cool, supportive friends that were there, that were understanding. Even though, like I said, I'm not always on the typing away. Sometimes I'll do it if I have some time, but sometimes I got like a kid on my back and I got another one pulling my leg. Um, but I'm always around, right? If you call me, I'll always pick up. But I'm very grateful for this group and for all of you guys. Even this episode where you guys are doing here, it's awesome. Like it's what you guys don't see it, but guaranteed you guys are getting rewards for whatever you're doing. So kudos to you
So
guys.
no, I definitely agree. I mean, try. I don't think it's not even typical. It's not normal. It's extraordinary.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's magical. Even though we don't believe in magic, but it's
yeah,
something you can't even
it's
describe.
special. It's yeah, exactly. I mean, there's definitely
Miracle.
some
Would
barakah
you
and
call it a
blessings in it
miracle?
for sure. I mean, to have companions um like that. I mean, if it's there's so many people that you can reach out to for support, just people you're closer with, that there's someone you always have that you could talk about a certain topic. Certain people it's good to go to a certain topic and certain for other ones. And it doesn't mean that all, 18, 19, 20 people need to meet together. It's, hey,
Could
we're
be
making a
anybody,
plan.
yeah.
Whoever's able to make it, reach, right? If you could, awesome. I mean, if not, then hey, maybe we see you on the video chat, video call.
Yeah.
Um,
No, no,
so it's a
absolutely.
really special thing.
That
Yeah,
was the point, right, from the beginning, to just have a place where you can find support and just chill, right? And if I could sum up Ajmal's, how do you say, gems of wisdom, right? So we got, take time out for yourself, go fishing, whatever it is you got to do, go out in nature, get away from your busy life, right? Explore your hobbies. You could do collectibles, you could, I don't know, read stuff, whatever, anything that gets you going and anything that you like to do, right? We
mhm.
got the third one, travel, right? Is that's the one, right? Really travel, take care of yourself,
Yeah,
go somewhere and and splurge a little, right? Like live
yeah,
a little, treat yourself, as we said.
yeah.
Don't forget about yourself, have some self-compassion and yeah, to sum it up, brother Ajmo here, just dropped four amazing gems, and hopefully this can, help you if you're on the brink of a decision or something. And inshallah, if it's good for you and it works out, and maybe this little push will get you
We'll make it
across.
happen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and no, we really appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy, and you have to take some time out of your schedule, and hopefully your work schedule gets better, and you get to spend more time with family, take care of
Well, yeah.
yourself as well, inshallah. But yeah, anything else you'd like to add, Zishan?
Oh, I just wanted to, agree. Just thank you, Ajmal, for taking the time to
And
Yeah,
spend
it's
this
fun
time with us.
conversation. Yeah,
It's definitely, and you get to learn and just catch up after so long. Um, special, and it's great. So thank you very much for that.
and we'd love to have
I
you again whenever time
Yeah,
permits,
give me a
and
ring, man. I'm down whenever. Hook me
inshallah,
up,
we'll
dude.
hold you to
Man,
that.
I'm
fantastic,
down, man.
awesome.
Love to chat.
Inshallah.
So
Awesome.
anytime.
Awesome. Jazakallah khair again, Ajmal,
Okay.
buddy. Zishan,
All
as
right.
always, pleasure.
All right,
Take it easy,
assalamu
guys.
alaikum.
Inshallah, we'll see you on the next one. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa
Wa
alaikum
alaikum
salam.
assalam.